It's Luke and Naomi.
Welcome in episode 111. I'm Luke Austin. That's Naomi Lynn.
What's up?
What's up? We're flipping the script this episode.
We are.
I watched a movie this week.
Yay!
Yeah, I don't think we said that anywhere on any of the teases. I just kind of left it and figured wait till everybody gets here. And then
Before
you'll find
you break
out.
the news, yeah.
Or at least till they see the title of the episode, because I'm sure we'll have it in there somewhere.
Probably.
And yeah, so I've watched Holes for the first time just last night, and I got my Under a Rock review. Can you call it Under a Rock review? I know the book.
Yeah, but you are still new to the book as well. I made you read that within the last 6 months.
Yeah, so I'm going to go with Under a Rock review. I
think you can.
Most of the cast I didn't know about.
Yeah, which is really cool because it is a nice,
surprises there.
Fully loaded cast there.
Yeah, so normally this is where I say we've got a great review coming up, but I don't really know.
Yeah, we'll find out.
I hope I do okay. I hope I do Naomi Lynn justice. So
listen, I think you will.
I think you will. We'll see what happens coming up. You are definitely gonna have to help me get through some of the stuff.
That's fine.
Just because.
That's what I'm here for.
Just because.
Support.
Also, normally where I say if you've seen it, relive your first watch through Naomi's eyes, but I guess you'll have to do that through my eyes.
That's right.
If you've never seen it either, should you? I'm gonna tell you right now, yes.
There you go. You can blow that surprise. It's fine.
We'll also get to that. Do you have the review questions?
I don't. I was just going to steal your phone in a little bit and make it really clunky while we were doing this live.
Wonderful. My phone's in the other room. But that's okay.
Perfect.
Well,
that's fine.
I'll just flip the screen around for you. You'll be okay.
Oh, that'll work.
Yeah, that'll be fine. All right. Seat of our pants, gang. Seat of our pants.
That's what we do.
That's how we live. So we obviously missed a week, or maybe not obvious, but we missed a week.
We did.
And that's mostly because we were still celebrating.
Recovering.
My birthday.
Recovering.
Which was on a Sunday. So we got to, dinner time Sunday, and I was like, nah, I'm not. I don't want to watch a movie. I just want to go to sleep.
Yeah, we were really tired Sunday because we went out Saturday and had a phenomenal time.
Had a blast again. Wilmington's Azalea Fest is usually around the same weekend as my birthday. So that goes on. And then within that is Alt Azalea Fest, which is just a huge lineup of local bands at a bunch of really cool venues. So we hit up a bunch of those, had a great time bopping around downtown.
We bounced around from a couple of places. There was one girl who was doing a whole bunch of Blink-182 and Green Day covers.
Yeah, that was great.
My Chemical Romance, which she did a phenomenal job of. We got to see... Who else did we see? Oh, the Cosmonauts.
Yeah, the Dubtown Cosmonauts was a big one for us there. And
yeah, we were dancing.
Bunch of the whole list is just so long. But,
yeah,
there's
we
lot
saw
of
a lot of great stuff.
We got to do. Yeah, we had a great time, and then of course went over to Fermental and harassed Ashley Rogers for a little bit because
that's what we do.
He was working, and that's also what we do. Yeah,
yes.
For sure. So it was good. It was a good birthday, a great birthday. I had a wonderful time.
Yay!
I'm pretty sure Naomi did too. So
I absolutely did.
That was great, and appreciate all the love and well wishes on our Facebook page from everybody out there.
Yes.
That was very cool as well. But back to stuff that matters. We've got a cool video coming up and a little game we want everybody to play.
We do.
You want to tell them about it?
Nah, you go ahead.
All right, it's Two Truths and a Lie. You've all heard Two Truths and a Lie, I'm sure, at some point throughout your lives, whether it's from a movie or friends or what have you. But basically, we're going to give you 3 statements. You got to figure out which one's a lie. So we want everybody to guess.
2 truths, 1 lie.
That's right. It's
that
Luke
easy.
And Naomi edition. So be on the lookout for that all over the socials. We'll have it up on YouTube, TikTok, and Facebook.
And that's why it's important to be subscribing to us on all these platforms.
That's right.
That way you get the heads up and the notification that goes, hey, we posted a new video, so you can be the first one to watch it.
That's right. There might be a couple of people out there we're just going to absolutely disqualify because they have most of the knowledge.
Yeah, we'll see.
We're going to have a lot of fun with that. So with this one. So be watching the skies.
That's right.
Just be watching the socials for that
It's
one.
like a bat signal, but it's just a video of ours being played out there.
That's right. I wish I could do that because I would.
I'm pretty sure someone would come and arrest us
broadcast
for that.
it on the moon.
Yeah, they'd be like, stop that.
That'd be awesome. Did you tell everybody? Did you just say when we're going to be posting that one? Did you say Wednesday?
No, I
already?
did not say Wednesday.
All right, well,
but it will be Wednesday.
If you are listening right as we've posted the episode 111, that'll be on Wednesday. So check out the Two Truths and a Lie. Can't wait to see if anybody gets it right, how many people get it right, how many people get it wrong. That's going to be a whole bunch of fun.
Yeah.
All right, it's time for your recurrent dose of Did You Know? I've got some random facts for episode 111. Did you know? The day after Bin Laden's death, Disney tried to trademark the name SEAL Team 6.
I'm not surprised.
They were rejected, of course, but yeah, that's a thing.
Disney's like, I got to get on that right now. I got an idea for a movie.
Did you know this one? Did you know the reason Chuck E. Cheese loves celebrating birthdays? Do you know that?
No.
Is because he's an orphan who didn't know when his own birthday is, so he loves celebrating other kids' birthdays.
That's kind of sad.
It's an incredibly sad reason behind.
Hey, I want to go to Chuck E. Cheese is because I want to celebrate with the rat that doesn't know its birthday.
That's right.
Cool.
Yeah.
Good plan.
And Charles Entertainment Cheese, by the way.
Oh, my bad.
If you don't know what the E stands for.
Entertainment.
His name is Charles Entertainment Cheese. Get it right, everybody. Did you know in 1878 there was a U.S. Supreme Court justice named Ward Hunt who suffered a stroke that left him unable to either attend court sessions or even to render opinions? And he still refused to resign for another 4 years. I know, right? It wasn't. They say it wasn't political. He did it long enough to claim his pension.
Oh, that makes sense. I would do that too.
I mean, most of us would, right?
Yes.
Like, yeah, it'll be fine.
And if you say you wouldn't, that's a lie.
U.S. Supreme Court. Nothing. Nothing I do at work matters. It'll be cool.
Be fine.
Did you know the Vlasic Pickles stork is their mascot because pregnant women are known to crave pickles?
Okay.
It seems like a strange reason to pick a mascot.
Yeah, well, if you all out of ideas.
I guess so.
Might work. Yeah.
Just Mr. Pickle. What the hell's wrong with that?
No, that's weird.
You think Mr. Pickle's weird?
Yeah, I don't like that.
All right. Eat
Mr.
me.
Pickles Pickles.
That's the pickles on the jar going, eat me. You know?
No, that's terrible. No, absolutely not.
Finally, did you know that for the original Nintendo to be compatible with European televisions, there had to be special versions of the games that ran 17% slower, which made them super easy?
Interesting.
Can you imagine, like, Mario? Just any slower would be easier.
Yeah, of course.
Thank
Anything
God.
would be. Because
Get
you have
around
time
the
to go,
clouds.
oh, shoot, I better jump up right now.
Yeah, so that's crazy. No wonder there's a bunch of video game like masters from the U.S., not Europe anyway, I guess. That is your recurrent dose of Did You Know? That one, I want to play some of the slow game just to see what it looks like.
I would want to try it out.
I'm going to have to rabbit hole that and see if I can find some video of like it actually being slower. If it's like
So that
noticeably
you can
slower.
tell, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. That's your recurrent dose of Did You Know? Some random facts for episode 111. Naomi Lynn loves to save money.
Absolutely.
Loves to, do the budget and all that stuff. And anytime,
Get all excited when I sent Luke to the store for something, and he goes, I bought this one because it was on sale, and we saved $1.20. And I'm like, yes! It's the best thing ever!
very exciting times around here when I find a bargain.
That's right.
So she loves saving money, and anytime we get to like put a chunk into savings or something like that, it's also celebrated really well.
Yes.
You're good at finance and all that.
Yeah, pretty good.
We've had a couple people be like, oh, what do you guys do to, save money and stuff? And Naomi's got some pretty good tips. They're boring and mundane for here, you can imagine, live within your means and all of that stuff. But online...
No fast food, guys. I'm sorry.
No lattes.
No lattes.
But
coffee at home. Come on.
People are talking about the crazy, weird, unhinged is what they call it.
Yes.
Unhinged.
I love unhinged, like, hacks. I was watching like the weight loss unhinged ones.
That could be dangerous.
Oh yeah, they absolutely are.
Just get malaria.
Yeah, basically, drink water all day and don't eat anything. You'll lose some weight.
What
Cool,
gives you
guys.
diarrhea? All right.
So yes, unhinged all the way.
Unhinged, money-saving hacks, tips, whatever you want to call it.
I'm ready.
But it's more ways people keep themselves from spending money.
Okay.
But unhinged.
Okay.
Lock all your credit cards is the first one.
That'll stop you from being able to use them. So
the explanation is you can still use them if you want, but you have to go through the trouble of unlocking them every time.
yeah.
Now, some of them have, like, you can do that through the app and whatnot, but it's still a process, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that would take a few. All right. How about, I hate running. Make yourself run for every dollar you spend. If you buy something you don't need for $50, you have to run for 50 minutes.
That's a great way. If you hate running, absolutely. That'll stop you.
I would never, ever, ever do that.
Yeah, but it would be a great thing for you.
It
like,
would, yeah.
You know, you wouldn't spend that money because you're like, I'm not running.
If that was like enforced heavily or something like that, and I really had to, yeah, I definitely wouldn't be spending any money. That is for sure. Wow. That one is that's the first really unhinged one for me. Tape a picture of your parents to your credit card.
That might work.
I mean, so it's supposed to remind you how much you don't want to move back in with them, I guess.
Oh, okay.
Unless you have really stern parents like Terry Crews from Everybody Hates Chris. You know, there's the story where I don't know if it's real or not, where the woman wanted to use a picture of that character on her credit card.
Yeah.
And she had to get permission.
Yeah.
And
I remember hearing about that.
I'll give you permission for sure. Like, he saw it and was like, hell yeah. That's a great one. So yeah, reminding you not to move, you don't want to move back in with the folks is probably the way to take that one. Do you like the item more than cash? This one's kind of neat. Before you buy something, ask yourself, if someone offered me this t-shirt or $30, which one would I take?
Oh, that one's easy for me. I'm going to take the cash.
Every time.
99% of the time. Yeah.
Absolutely.
But I don't like to buy a lot of things because I'd rather have the cash. My brain already thinks that way.
So yeah, you ask, if someone offered you, see, I like that. I want to think about that one because I think
that
would
would probably
that one
help you. Yeah.
If somebody gave you this or, however much it is, which one would you want more?
This goofy gadget that you found on Amazon or the $40 that it's worth. Which one you taking?
The Amazon gadget. How about calculate how long you'd have to work to pay for it?
Oh, I hate doing that. I usually do that with bad things like groceries and things that I need. And I went, my gosh.
You're not supposed to do this with things you need.
I know, but it just sometimes happens and I get depressed.
Like if someone's something costs $100, you make $20 an hour. Is it worth 5 hours of your time?
Right. It's painful.
That flashlight I have that I just got.
Painful.
Definitely worth it.
Okay.
Definitely. How about pretend it costs more? Another one that's pretty good. I think this one might be one of my favorites. If you wouldn't pay 3 times as much for it, then it's not worth what they're charging. That is really unhinged because that's just making shit up and just being kind of out there about it. But if you wouldn't pay 3 times as much, then don't get it.
I feel like that would backfire for everybody going, but look, it doesn't cost 3 times as much. Right. It only costs this amount. It's like I'm getting it on sale. I might as well buy it now.
Yeah, see, that one, that is very unhinged.
I don't like that one.
Surrounded by question marks. Consider the idea that you might never retire. This is just scary. Before you buy something you don't need, think of yourself at 85 and you're still working. Just picture yourself working at 85.
That
and then
is,
you know what? Don't need this right now.
Yeah, that's definitely up there and very depressing.
It is. That's sad.
Yeah.
That's
definitely like the most unhinged one I think we've come to.
Where did I leave? Think of it like you're stealing from yourself. You spent all that time earning money. Are you really going to steal it from your future self to buy something you don't need? Sometimes. Yeah. Boycott everything.
There you go.
Find reasons to be just as unhinged and boycott as many companies as you can. Refuse to give them your money.
Listen, it's not that hard to do this day and age.
There's an app, and this is just terrible, that's called Goods Unite Us. And it tells you how every brand leans politically.
Oh, my God.
So if you want to get nuts, you can go that route, right?
Well, if you need that unhinged reason to help you save money, there you go.
So I don't know what that one might be the most unhinged. The boycott everything.
That one.
Stealing from yourself?
No, the boycotting everything and the, imagining yourself 85 and still working.
Yeah,
those top are definitely the top 2 unhinged ones on that list.
The cost even more one is just stupid.
Yeah.
It's not unhinged. It's just dumb.
Yeah.
But calculate how long you'd have to work. Do you like the item more than cash? That one probably is my favorite. Do you like the item more than cash? Because sometimes, and I know that's yours. That's perfectly yours.
Yeah.
All right. Something else that you like? Cash and hot dogs.
Hot dogs?
I don't know. Everybody likes hot dogs.
Yes. So but it's, I feel like I like cash a lot more. Let me just say that.
New possible trend for the summer, hot dog towers.
What?
When I say hot dog tower to you, tell me what you're visualizing.
I imagined someone and they're like uncooked, wet, like soggy hot dogs. And someone
what the hell is wrong with you?
Is trying to build a tower with them.
Like,
That's what I imagine. And it's all like, the wind's kind of blowing it a little bit.
Like this wobbly gelatinous thing.
Yes. You asked me what I thought.
Just dripping in hot dog water.
Yes, juice everywhere. Yeah.
No, if I ever, that's wonderful, by the way. What the hell is wrong with you? No, if I were to say...
let me ask, what is a hot dog tower if this is wrong?
If I were to say to you, seafood tower, what would you think?
Oh, okay, yeah.
Now, seafood tower, you're not thinking of wobbly and gelatinous? For some reason, because you've heard of that.
I think of Seabird and their amazing seafood tower that they have.
Oh, my goodness. If you're not from the Wilmington area, it's a restaurant downtown that is wonderful. A big thing this summer could be... hot dog towers, but in the style of the seafood tower.
This makes a lot more sense.
Which is to say, cooked,
and like different like varieties, right?
Oh my God, yes.
Where you have like hot dogs on little buns, or maybe you have these ones with ketchup and mustard, and this one over here with relish, and then maybe at the top they get a little bit more fancy and they've got bacon crumbles. Right?
Yes.
Yes.
Exactly.
See, this makes a lot more sense.
A lot more sense.
I'm sorry, but out of nowhere to say hot dog tower. I mean, honestly, no. As you're listening to this show right now, hot dog tower, you're imagining hot dogs, that form a tower, right? Who would have been thinking of like the food, like a seafood tower?
At the very least, a stack of cooked hot dogs in buns. At the very least. I don't think anybody was going wobbly, gelatinous, raw hot dog tower dripping in hot dog water. No, I don't
Somebody
think so.
tell me that that's exactly what you pictured and make me feel a little bit better here.
I hope so. It'd make me feel better, too, to be honest with you. So anyway, there's just stories going around of the hot dog towers becoming a thing. Because of, of course, the inflation prices and groceries are expensive and all that, and hot dogs really aren't.
Yeah.
Sort of. But you take the multi-tiered serving platter, like the seafood tower, and you put different hot dogs around it. All three levels can be hot dogs. You can use one for fries, and the top tier for like condiments, like the picture that I see that I'm going to share has like real fancy done up hot dogs on the bottom. And then the middle is all fries with cheese all over them.
Nice.
And then the top tier is the little ramekins or the, dipping cups of different sauces. It looks like toppings and condiments and sauces.
Okay.
Like all in one. So that sounds wonderful.
It does, but I feel like, you could just do like a hot dog bar. You don't need a tower of this.
Well, this takes
stuff.
up less space.
Fine. Always got to prove me wrong over there.
And it's not gelatinous.
Thank you for making great points over there.
I want to chat GPT.
That's exactly what I was thinking about, because I was like, man, I wish I could put up a picture of what I actually imagined in my head. And I was like, oh, AI can do this for me.
So when you're done, work on that. And if we get a good enough one, we'll put it in the YouTube video.
Perfect.
And that way. And if you are watching on YouTube, if you're not watching on YouTube, you should be watching on YouTube. But check it out, because we got a picture of what the real hot dog tower looks like. And hopefully, right now, one of what Naomi was picturing.
That's right.
Somehow. Wonderful. All right. Back to more food that you like. This one.
Ranch?
This isn't a trick either. No marshmallows.
Okay.
So, and back to, I guess, money and all that. The price of eggs is crazy, so people are going. This is the first time in my life that I know of people looking for alternatives to Easter eggs.
Oh, yeah, that's true. I do get that. I heard something about like potatoes or something.
Yeah, I saw a week or two ago that people were thinking about potatoes, and they said dyeing potatoes, but I can't see dyeing a potato. I feel like that would get just absolutely gross, and then you're not going to get... Do you dye it with the skin on?
I have no idea.
Does that work?
I would guess that you take the skin off to dye it, but that seems like a lot of work.
And then they're going to be like slimy, and if you've ever let raw potatoes sit, they're going to be all over the place, and the starch, anyway, that's weird.
Yeah.
But people are also dyeing marshmallows, which I was skeptical about at first until I saw some photos of some completed ones. And if you want to see what one looks like and you're on YouTube, look right now, because that's what they look like. They're really actually quite I mean, I know this is all computer enhanced. And
When
whatnot.
I think of marshmallow eggs, I think of the chocolate eggs that inside is marshmallow, like the candy.
So
Not like
that's what you thought I was
dying.
talking about this whole time?
Yes, at
Oh,
first,
no kidding.
until you started talking about like the dying.
No,
of
people are
the-
just taking actual marshmallows and dyeing them.
Yeah.
And so there was, I guess, Jet Puff did this kit on Walmart's website that sold out
Smart.
immediately.
Very smart.
Yeah, they called it the Dip and Decorate kit. And it came with 6 dyes, a set of decorating pens, and then the jumbo marshmallows, which are almost the size of eggs.
And the
Anyway.
best part is you can dye them and then you can eat them.
Yeah, none of them would make it to the egg hiding, which is...
You find a bunch that are like half eaten, like little bites taken out of them.
And yeah, you better hope that's a human bite.
I've got 4.5 eggs. What does that equal?
But again, and it comes in a little, like, it comes with a little container that looks like a egg carton.
Oh, that's cute.
You know what I mean? So I guess, I don't know.
Honestly, very smart on,
Jet Puff.
yeah, very smart.
Very
Good
smart.
marketing.
Because, yeah, that is genius. And again, they don't look terrible.
No,
It's just, how well do marshmallows do sitting out, too? Just like raw potatoes.
I
don't
think
know.
it depends on how hot it is.
How the hell did we get to eggs, also? That's just crazy.
Yeah, good question, but I don't have an answer for
But
you.
if anybody does, what the answer I would like to hear is, you know, a better alternative to eggs for Easter. And not just the plastic ones, because that's a great idea. Speaking of which, I didn't mention that at all.
You haven't.
For my birthday, Naomi had a really cool gift for me, actually.
I did. A
And-
very creative gift.
And actually did an Easter egg hunt for me.
That's right. I treat my husband like a child.
And it was wonderful. And I'm not kidding. About a week before, on my radio show, I had said something about, you know what would be really cool is doing an Easter egg hunt now as an adult. I would definitely love that, just to wake up and get to have to find Easter eggs. And the morning of my birthday, sure as hell.
I was like, hey, look over there. There's something under the TV. And it was a little egg with some treats in it. Found some good treats, too. You know, like some good, I don't want to say
It was
adult
awesome.
treats, but like not childish treats. I mean, there was a race car in one of them. But like lottery
Porsche.
tickets and like Reese's peanut butter eggs, like the good stuff.
Yeah, it was fantastic.
You know?
I got candy, I got some scratchers, and a little Porsche Matchbox car, which is just wonderful. And I got
Can't
to
go wrong
hunt
with
for
that.
Easter eggs for the first time in a long time.
Yes,
so
that's
that was
right.
actually really, really cool. So shout out to Naomi for that one, because that was just wonderful. And I believe, of course, there's a video coming.
There is a video
'Cause
coming.
That's what you do.
Yes.
So
But you have
you'll
to
get
wait
see
for
that
it.
too. Make sure you're following all the things and the website too, because you can find everything all in one place there.
That's right.
Yeah. All right. What are we at now? I've totally forgot. Marshmallow, Easter eggs. Oh, yeah. Last time we asked everybody if your pet could win an award. What award would it be?
I love things like this because then you get to see, you know, the other side of the animals. You know, everybody's got a dog or a cat or a bird or whatever that does something a little goofy. You know,
Everybody.
everybody.
And on the, we did 2 posts on our Facebook, and one was the reel, and I talked about my dog Marley, who chewed, I'm pretty sure it was her anyway, that chewed hardcover books for some reason, not soft covers, because I had a bunch of those, always left them out, got like a hardcover book chewed up, did it again, and it happened like 3 times. I just couldn't believe it each time. So it was the restraint award for not chewing all books,
Yes,
just the hardcovers.
which was a good one.
Yeah, I thought so. Do you have written down the ones that you put on our Facebook page?
No, I just remember it had to do, I don't know what I called it, like the Springy Award.
The Springy Award for Jack, yes.
That was for our family dog, Jack. Because I kid you not, no, this dog would get excited and would jump, but straight in the air, all 4 legs.
Straight up.
As if, like, he was bouncing on a trampoline. And, like, not little jumps. I'm talking, like, a good
great.
3 feet in the air. And this dog was, like, 85 pounds.
Oh, yeah.
It was the dumbest thing to see. It really was. It
Jack
was like,
is awesome.
what the heck is wrong with that dog?
That's a good one.
So Springy Award all the way.
That could be listener of the week what are we doing? Listener of the week? Listener
It
of the
is
episode?
listener of the week.
Or calling it
Even if
listener of the
we
week?
skip a week in between, you just get a bonus of having it for 2 weeks.
So that's a bar I think we have set there already.
I've got one from Kelsey that I work with. So she's got 2 dogs, and her boyfriend has 2 dogs.
Oh, no.
So sometimes there's 4 dogs together. And I said, all right, well, what award would your dogs win? So her dog Sandler, yes, named after Adam Sandler, wins the Cleanliness Award.
Oh,
because
I
it's
don't
the
like
only one that won't have an accident in the apartment, which is a phenomenal award.
Oh, my God.
Sally has a really cute one, prettiest eyes, and then she showed me a picture, and that dog really does have beautiful, like, ice blue eyes.
Cool. Those are always cool.
Yes. Sammy has best hugger because when the dog, like, jumps on you to hug you, brings its elbows in, almost like as it's trying to, like, give you a little squeeze.
All right.
And finally, her dog Winnie has best voice. And I've heard this because the dog doesn't bark.
Oh, I've heard. Okay, yes.
It makes a little, like, woo, woo, woo noise. Almost like, woo, like it's excited, but like doesn't know what to do. Like it never learned how to bark. No, it just does that louder. Like when things are around, when people are around, when other dogs are barking. It just goes, woo, 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 louder.
That's the weirdest thing.
It's phenomenal.
All right.
I love it.
All right, good answers there. Good answers there. Mary says, I don't know what the award would be called, but he looked cute in his sombrero, so he deserves a prize. And you can see the picture on our Facebook page. That's right. You can see pictures for most of these on the Facebook page. You might have to find the reel, but that's up there too. Like my mom and Max, the boxer, his award would be bubble blowing.
That's so gross.
It is gross, but that is crazy. And you got to see the picture because it's like...
It is a giant bubble.
It is. And you got... But like... Amazing that she was able to capture this.
Yes.
And the size it was. And it's just... It is kind of gross, but it's awesome. It's awesome. Then she says Reese would be the best head licker, which is...
Gross.
It is. Keen can steal your food from your hand in lightning speed. Winnie can smile and pose for the camera. Let's see. Tupper is a bully but afraid of his own shadow, and he's a good hugger too.
Maw.
Paul says Crab most likely to become a bitter old man alone on the beach.
Mer.
And if that's the dog that I'm thinking of that I've seen a picture of,
where it looks like
Yes.
it's got like frown lines already.
yeah, it just look pissed.
Yeah.
So if
Just
that's
hates
that dog,
everything.
wonderful. Mark's got a bunch of cats. Loudest mouth for the smallest cat. He says the fattest cat with the smallest mouth. Let's see here. And award for being a neediest, most push up against you. Eileen all night long. Okay.
Okay. No, my favorite thing about that
Mark,
whole
you gotta
conversation.
Stop voice texting, man.
My favorite thing about that whole thing, like his whole list and everything, is his wife jumps in because he says they're Tracy's cats, by the way, and she jumps in and goes, no, and has a picture of the cat, like one of the cats laying on him, and he looks all comfortable in the chair, and it's like, you want to act like you don't like that cat, but
yeah,
that's your cat.
He's a big fat liar.
What is with guys, and especially cats, where they're like, that's not my cat. Like, I don't care about that cat. And it's, you know, that cat always cuddles in their lap or always comes by them.
Well, it's because they don't care about the cat, and the cat's like, all right, well, now you need to pay attention to me. So
well,
that's how
yeah,
that
but then
starts.
you don't go, like, get off me. You're
And
just
then
like,
it works
okay.
the same way around for, for the guys, too. And
Yeah.
That's how that works. Katie says, loudest sigh by an unemployed boy who sleeps 18 hours a day.
That's phenomenal.
I like that one. Gina says the sloth award.
That's a good one, too. I want to know, is that a cat or a dog?
Right? We might have to look at the Facebook page for that one. Check out the Facebook page for all the pictures. Snowman says my ferrets were the best at hiding things. And Brian from England says he's nominating his next door neighbor's dog, Murphy, for world's biggest howler when they leave the house, when they go out.
Aww.
He says, it's not very often. He says he's a lovely beagle, but boy, can he howl. And if
It's a beagle.
Yeah,
Yes.
see, he says he does have a key to check on him when they go out, and a big dog treat cheers him up and keeps him quiet. So
that's
a
cute.
The howler.
Yep, I
World's
love
biggest
it.
howler. I like that one. Good
Yes.
awards. Good awards. All right. So speaking of awards, you got to come up with a listener of the week, or do we want to talk about the next topic first?
No, I want to announce the listener of the week.
Have you chosen a listener of the week, Naomi? Do you have the envelope?
I do have the envelope here. Hang on.
All right. Was that supposed to be like a fancy voice?
Yeah, did it sound fancy?
It did.
Okay, cool.
Sounded fancy.
All right. And the winner is Katie Stuckey. I love her answer. Loudest sigh by an unemployed boy who sleeps 18 hours a day.
18 hours a day. Yeah.
Just the unemployed boy part in there is phenomenal as well. And then she had a picture underneath. You can see the cute puppy and it's sleeping. And, it's got a difficult life. Looks like, So congratulations, Katie Stuckey. You're our listener of the week.
All right. Well done, Katie. Love that. You can see pictures of all your pets, and thank you for sharing on the Facebook page. That's where we got all the pictures. I may or may not put them in the video. So if you've been looking at pictures of pets, then I did.
Perfect.
How about
and if you didn't, well, then go to the Facebook page.
Well, go to the Facebook page.
And while you're there,
Facebook.
You'll have a chance to, win bragging rights as our next listener of the week.
Oh, I love it.
With your best answer to our topic this week.
Absolutely nailed the transition there.
Thank you. I've been working on my segues.
Well done. Absolutely well done. Replace a word in a movie with the word undies.
I can't wait to do this because it's
movie
so
title,
dumb.
Of course.
Yeah. It's so dumb. I'm so excited for this. I love dumb things like this.
You got anything so far? You got to start us off.
Hang on. Monty Python and the Life of Undies.
Oh, all right.
Perfect.
That's a. Oh, jeez. All right, we're off and running.
Yep.
That's a good. I was gonna do this week's movie, but it's holes.
Undies holes.
Yeah, holes in the undies.
Yeah.
But you're only supposed to replace one word in the title.
So it would just be undies.
It would just be undies.
Which doesn't really work.
It does not.
No.
It does not at all. All right. That's, of course, Facebook. Wherever you are right now, you can drop your comments. Replace a word in a movie title with the word undies. Can't wait for the answers. If you are on the YouTube, you can just comment right here. Just look down, see, and you can see where you can comment right there. If you're on Spotify, Mike, you can just look down and comment right there. There's a spot.
Perfect.
Boom, right there.
Yes.
And if you are on anything else,
just comment. There's a button that's going to say comment.
But also
or leave a message or whatever.
TikTok,
but just do that.
Facebook, wherever. Well, you can find anywhere. Go to the website, LukeandNaomi.com. You can drop your comment there. We look forward to reading all the answers. Replace the word to movie title with the word undies.
I can't wait.
On episode 112. I'm very excited for that one as well. Is that it?
That's it.
That is it. All right.
It's your turn.
It's my turn.
It's your turn.
Well, I guess I'll hit the button then.
Yep.
All right.
What do we do?
Yeah, well, how do we do?
This isn't right.
We've done this before. I just don't remember at all.
All right. Take it away, Luke.
Oh, here we go. Okay, so I have read the book Holes before.
Just recently.
And yeah, like Naomi said, it was probably within the last 6 months. So one thing I said is I was surprised by a lot of casting. So right off the bat, super fun. You get to see the apartment and his dad making he's trying to come up with a cure for the smelly shoes. Mm-hmm. The cure.
He wants to recycle old sneakers.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
And he's trying to make them not smell bad, right?
Well, the whole goal is to recycle old sneakers. The end is kind of what they end up making to make all that work worth it.
Okay, but yeah, so anyway, as you can imagine, the apartment is full of old smelly shoes. Mm-hmm. And it looks exactly like you picture it, or I pictured it in the book. And it's like, it's Louis Sacker? Or Sackar,
I think that's how you say his name. Yeah, who wrote the book.
He wrote the book. He also wrote the screenplay for the movie.
Yes.
Which I feel is a great way to go because the movie really looked like the book. Now, I know that's a different person's job, but whatever. That's neither here nor there. It felt like the book the whole way through the movie. And the apartment, it was just perfect. It's exactly how I pictured it, with the shoes everywhere. And, of course, we get to see his dad, who's the Fonz.
Yes.
And I was like, all right.
Off and running,
Henry Winkler in goofy roles is just the best.
Yes.
So that's wonderful right off the bat. Siobhan Fallon is his mom, and she's great too. Old Saturday Night Liver and all that. I don't know the grandfather, but that's fine. But I wrote the apartment looks exactly like I thought. So very quickly from there we get the shoes over the bridge, and
they hit him in the head.
It's hit the dome. We go through the court thing real quick, and we get to Camp Green Lake, real fast.
Yes.
So I like that. It's quick. Let's get into it, and get meeting all the boys and all of that stuff. The holes as they're flying over though reminds me of those creepy photos with the holes that freak people out. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like
because there's a lot. As the bus is going by, you just keep passing more and more and more, and they kind of pull off of the bus, like you said. You're flying over it, and then it just outstretches so far, just miles and miles and miles.
Yeah, but
it is very creepy.
It's like that creepy, those creepy holes that people look at for fun for some reason. I don't know. You know what I'm talking about?
Sure.
It's one of those things. But anyway, here we are, Camp Green Lake. It is filthy and really well done. Again, it's a recurring thing to me. Everything looks like I expected it to.
How you imagined it.
How I imagined it in all of that.
How the book wrote it.
It was really good. The next thing I write is what the F? Because John Voight is
Mr. Sir.
Sir. Yeah, I almost called him Mom. John Voight is Mr. Sir. And the freaking sideburns. Oh my God.
They're nice. They're very nice.
That's just hilarious. Yep. I don't know if he did this for a grandkid or what, but he absolutely destroyed that role. It was wonderful. He killed it. Mm-hmm.
And he does it, there is that kiddie goofiness to it, where it brings you back to this is a kid's
It's
movie.
very much Nickelodeon. It's Disney, but it's very much that, and it's fun. It's a lot of fun. It reminds me of the Goonies and things like that from back in the day. So already having a lot of fun. Then we get to meet Mom Podansky. It's Tim Blake Nelson, which is a surprise, and the freaking get up with him with the socks. Oh my God. That was just hilarious all the way through. Even when he starts to be a jerk towards the end and all that. Like the socks just take me right, to okay, that's hilarious. Mm-hmm. Let's see. Then, so we're getting, Stanley's getting introduced into the camp.
Yeah.
They're showing all the stuff. They get him to his bunk, which was Barf Bag's bunk. And it's just disgusting.
Yes.
I just wrote, ha, 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 the bed is gross. That's what I wrote down.
But they do, they spend
right in it.
a little chunk in the book talking about that, because he lays on the cot and it's itchy and all of this, and he flips over on his stomach and it's just it smells so bad. So then he flips back over, So the fact that they included that in the movies is pretty cool. Not that the whole flipping over and stuff, but they really show you that it was gross. This is a gross, stinky place. This is a place for bad boys.
Yeah, they put you in it that it is very uncomfortable.
Yes.
You can see the heat, basically. It looks like it's hot and it looks dirty. The next thing I wrote is here's Zero. So we get our first introduction to Zero, which we, if you've read the book or whatever, he's also one of the heroes of the book. Mm-hmm. I wrote, they're so filthy, it's amazing. Mm-hmm. So at this point, he's still being introduced around. The kids are all coming in from digging their holes for the day and are just wonderfully caked in the, sort of mud, desert, just
dirt that
filth.
Would be on you. Yeah.
It is great. It really well done. They look like I imagine. The next thing, what the hell did I hear? They're in the mess hall, or there's a dinner announcement or something like that, and one of the foods that they announced is banana jello.
Yes.
Which just
was disgusting. The thought of that. But then, I believe that's
I barely caught it, too, which made me go, oh, my God, did he just say banana jello? That makes it even worse to be there.
If I'm not mistaken, that's where, Stanley is standing in front, and they just glob that mush on his plate, and you can see it. In the book, they talk about, everything was canned, and it's just this brown-colored mush, no matter what food it was.
Right. I forgot to mention, too, when he's in Mr. Sir's office, and he reaches and pulls out the bottle of Coke. Mm-hmm. He hands it like he's going to hand it to him, but he's giving it to the dude who brought him or whatever.
Yes, yeah.
Man, that is just wonderfully cruel. And so well done and puts you right into that. John Voight is here to be jerk John Voight, but like cartoony jerk, because it's like jerk John Voight in Varsity Blues, where he's the coach and he's a jerk. He's grown man jerk. But this one, he's a bad guy and he's evil and all that stuff. But the cartooniness is just great. Yeah. Absolutely love it. I said I love how they had the family explain the story in the past, because in the book it's the narrator and all that stuff, right?
Yeah, and it just flips. Like all of a sudden you start a new chapter and it's gone back in time.
Yeah, so it takes a little bit to get, as it does throughout the movie. They give you bits and pieces throughout, so you don't get the whole thing right away.
Yeah.
But I do love how they kind of jump from Camp Green Lake back to the apartment, and then they have the flashbacks of the family kind of telling Stanley about the there's no way I'm going to do it right. The good, dirty, rotten
pig stealing
great grandfather.
There you go.
Is that right? Okay, cool. So I knew we were going to get the story somehow, but I was wondering how. And they do. It's such a cool way that they have like the family do it. He tells a little bit of it at camp and all of that. It's really, really well done. And then the flashback shots and stuff. Once again, exactly how I pictured it in the book. So that was really cool. So what I wrote is, I love how they have the family explain the past story. Then I have the boys are so mean because it's their first, Stanley's like first full day there. Mm-hmm. And they're just absolutely terrible. Yeah,
well, they're boys.
And X-Ray is such a jerk.
He is. But he's been there the longest, and he's the kind of person, he is in this group, he is the alpha.
That's right.
Even though he's the smallest and has those big, thick glasses, that don't make any sense to be wearing because they're just covered in dirt. Yeah, like he can't see anything.
And again, with the filth. They do such a good job of making them just so caked in dirt. It's great.
All the boys were mean.
All of them. I wrote, they're so mean because, all of the stuff was at
Theodore.
That's when he ran up to Theodore and asked him where to get some water.
And he kind of puts him in a headlock. Yeah, and he's like, my name's Armpit.
That's right, out of nowhere. So then I wrote, I love the pig story, and they do it so well. And Eartha Kitt as Madame Zeroni is amazing.
Yeah.
I don't know that there's better casting in the whole movie.
No.
But that's it took me a minute too. I was like, oh my God, that's Eartha Kitt. But yeah, she is just creepy enough.
Without being too creepy.
But not too creepy, because Madame Zeroni really isn't creepy.
No, she's just a gypsy.
Yeah. It's just creepy enough. And like Eartha Kitt played that so well. What did I say? The grandfather splits because the girl is stupid. Like that whole story is hilarious, but she's like, which pig was more? And she just doesn't have any idea.
I'll pick a number,
I have no idea that the dude liked her and all of that stuff. But like, and I get it. He's dumb. He's, heartsick and all of that stuff. But he just leaves and doesn't take care of Madame Zeroni. Now, I know we need a story, right?
Yeah.
But he spent all this time like with her and all of that, explaining to her why he loves the girl and whatnot. Why wouldn't he go back and be like, oh man, check out what happened? And like, seem like she would console him or something.
I get it, but playing devil's advocate here, like, it was probably, he was just blown away because because he's also dumb. He is a dumb, like 20-year-old teenager who goes, how could she not see how much I loved her? I can't believe this happens. I need to get out of town, and just gets on the docks and gets on a boat and sails to America. And he's just gone. He doesn't even think about it.
So what I wrote is, why not just tell her what happened, because she knew what he was up to. Then, saying take her up the hill and not screw over your ancestors. But right after that, I wrote, Grandpa does say he's a dummy, though.
Yeah.
So there you go. I wrote that Shia LaBeouf was excellent Stanley. Played that part so well. And we saw, introducing Shia LaBeouf in the credits or something like that.
Which was shocking. But, like, right when they first showed him on the screen, when the movie started, I went, oh, my gosh, he looks so young in this movie. He's so young. He's so little.
Very. I mean, even Steven's days. So
yeah,
whatever. But I wrote he's a good Stanley. He did it well. He was too. I don't remember what the physical attributes of Stanley Yelnats in the book are.
Yeah, so the only thing that they couldn't portray, and I remember reading about this actually, I don't remember all the details and everything, but the big thing that Stanley was overweight.
Oh, okay.
But
yeah.
they weren't going to make a kid actor gain a whole bunch of weight
Yeah.
and then lose it in the movie to show that, like, hey, Camp Green Lake made him tougher and leaner and all of that kind
Which
of
is
stuff.
that happens with a lot of characters in situations like this. There's plenty of stories that have been moved to movies where the character was like that, but they're not in the movie because of the same thing.
Yeah,
Like
and
child
it doesn't take anything away from the movie.
Yeah.
So it just
and
works.
it doesn't because again, Shia played Stanley well from what from the character in the book that I know to the character on the screen. He really did that well. So we are in the first nightfall of camp, and Stanley's, I don't know if he's just getting done with a shower or something like that, but this is where he runs into Mr. Sir, and there's the lizard crawling up the thing behind him. Mr. Sir pulls the gun. Stanley's kind of freaked out because he thinks he's going to shoot him.
Mm-hmm.
And I wrote the lizard animation was so bad, and I was like, was this a movie theater movie or a Disney original? Because that lizard animation was raw.
Yeah, it is. It is.
And I mean, I know we're talking early 2000s.
I don't know.
one.
I feel like this was a movie theater. I
do
could be
too.
wrong,
I'm pretty
but
sure it is.
Yeah.
But either way, that was rough.
Yeah.
Not
They didn't spend all the money on that. They spent all the money on the cast.
on this cast and the setting.
Yes.
Well, yeah, Sigourney Weaver and John Voight and all that.
Yes.
I imagine. So I said, Mr. Sir shoots the lizard, and they're talking about it in the tent, and I'm just happy they're not still so grimy.
Yeah. They all got cleaned
At
up.
this point, they've all had a chance to wash a little bit. I love that in the movie they explained the clothing situation. 2 sets of clothes, you wear them for 3 days, and then they switch to your work clothes or whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it was nice to see. It's like, okay, I don't have to go the whole movie, and they're all just caked in mud.
Yeah.
So it's kind of nice.
You get little breaks.
It was cool. It was a good break for me, honestly. So there. I said, next thing I wrote down is the scene where he gets his nickname, and they got me again. You got me in the book where you think that the big kid is caveman and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And in this, the same thing I forgot. And so, that whole thing goes on, and I was like, yeah, I remember the name caveman. Okay, fine. And then they were like, you're caveman. Oh my God, they fell for it. So that was cool. I liked that. I liked that I fell for it again. So they got me the book and the movie too. So then we get kind of that quick scene where Stanley and Zero first sort of bond and kind of start being friends and stuff like that. I said I love their whole dynamic and their how they become friends in that story. So I'm looking forward to this. Then we get the scene where there's the cloud in the sky and they all get very excited.
Yeah.
Maybe it'll block out the sun for a minute.
Yeah.
And it just reminded me of New Mexico. So shout out to everybody in New Mexico for that. Or that time we spent a week in Western New York at Darien Lake Amusement Park and there was not a cloud for a week.
Mm-hmm.
So I felt their pain the whole time. Like from then on.
You would see a cloud off in the distance and go,
God.
come on, just come this way just a little bit.
Yeah. So at this point now we're up to where they find the bullet or what have you that, if you read the book and you know what's going on, it's the Kiss and Kate lipstick.
Yeah.
Kate Barlow and all of that. Another thing is too that I forgot that the warden was descendant, and I forgot how.
Yeah.
So finding all of that out again in the movie was really cool. I liked that a lot.
And I liked, I feel like the movie gave you a lot of those answers sooner than they normally did in the book. Just so you weren't lost, because you can't go back. But I feel like the descendant kind of thing, they held that off to just the right amount of time. You've already met the warden and, you at least know of her and all that, but you don't know the connection.
Because I feel like it is a bit of a red herring in the book. They want you to think the warden's the descendant of Kiss and Kate. Mm-hmm. And then they flip it around where no, she's actually not.
Yep.
And it's even worse.
Yeah.
Which is cool, and so they do it well here too. So I like that. Where did I? Man, how do you keep track of this every single week? Good.
It's
on you.
difficult.
Good on you.
Well, I usually read really, really fast through my notes.
Yeah, that is
yeah.
true. All right, so then they're showing flashbacks of Sam and Kate, and I wrote, I know it's a very simple story, but they again made the whole exactly how I pictured it when I was reading the book. It's just crazy. They just painted that picture so well. I can fix that. Mm-hmm. And all of that stuff from Sam and their growing
it's
relationship.
It's a cute love
and
story.
They start falling in love and all that stuff. And again, exactly how I pictured it. And then I wrote, I can fix that. So, here we are. We're moving this whole story along. We got to find out the backstory and what happened with Kissing Kate and how she became an outlaw and a bandit and all that stuff. So now we're at the point where stupid Trout, what the hell?
Charles Walker.
Yeah, Trout Walker. He confesses his love for Kate
and wants a kiss, and she turns him down.
Spurned him and stuff like that. And then he ends up seeing her and Sam kissing and
loses his mind.
Loses his stupid mind. And,
yes.
There we go. The next thing I wrote was they done killed Mary Lou and Sam too.
Yeah. Very sad.
They had to kill the damn mule,
Yeah.
Like they didn't have to kill the mule. But, within all of that, of course, we got the stories of the onions that Sam sold and the juice from what was it? Prospectors or farmers or fishermen or hunters that...
Hunters. They would go out hunting. Rattlesnake hunting.
Yeah.
And they would drink this onion juice elixir kind of thing because it would keep these little monsters away from them that were the... What are they?
I forget.
Yellow spotted lizards.
Yellow spotted lizards. I forgot what it's called.
Yeah,
Very
things.
Simple. Very simple. Yellow spotted lizard. So, I said they done killed Mary Lou and Sam too, and Kissing Kate is born. And I said I love also when she went in to shoot the sheriff, she shot him first and then kissed him. Didn't even give him the pleasure at all, which is just wonderful. And also a little unhinged that she's kissing dead people, that she just blew his brains out a little bit.
That's okay. He deserved it, though. He was drunk. He grabbed at her, wanted a kiss, and was mocking her for kissing Sam the Onion Man and all of that kind of stuff. Heck yeah. More power to her. Kill him and then give him that kiss.
Love it. Absolutely love it. And look, the whole thing, again, Louis Sacker, the guy who wrote the book, I don't know if I'm saying his name right, but he's, he wrote Sideways Stories from Wayside School. Again, books Naomi and I both enjoyed as kids. Mm-hmm. And
they're clever.
They're so freaking clever. This story is great.
It's a great story.
Like the way he put it all together and all that stuff. And I love it. But then he births an outlaw who just shooting people. It's just, it's got a lot of good stuff. The movie does. I loved it. I really did. I'm spoiling that right now. But so next thing I wrote down is John Voight is so great in this. Because more of Mr. Sir and John Voight's just nonsensory. And every time he's got the damn sunflower seeds in his mouth, and he's just so gross.
Yes.
And just, he's so stupid. I forget what exactly I wrote this down about, but it's one of the things where he's just dancing around like an ass because he's pissed about something.
Yeah.
And it was just absolutely wonderful. So now we find out that Zero's name is really Hector Zeroni.
Yeah. Hey, that name sounds familiar.
Why does that sound familiar?
Yeah.
So now I said they've both left camp because Zigzag ratted out Stanley about him and Zero's deal with the whole. So we get the whole sunflower seeds incident that goes down, and come back and we see that Zero dug Stanley's hole, finished it up for him because he was in trouble. That's when he met the warden and all that stuff. And then him and Zero become more friends, and then they start the whole deal about I'll teach you to read, but it's going to make me so exhausted from digging all day. So Zero, I'll do a little bit of your hole. You teach me to read, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Well, the other boys, of course, don't like it because they're little dicks. So
I wouldn't like it either if I were digging a hole.
Right. Teach me to read, man. So you get Zigzag, who is just the worst. Mm-hmm. And you're right. His hair is perfect.
Yeah.
Again, another just really excellent touch on this.
Well, especially in the book, they describe Zigzag's hair and his long neck. And the kid that plays this guy has some crazy hair and has a little bit of a long neck.
Yeah. Excellent casting.
Yeah. They did so well to that. And they made his hair stick up even further. And there's even like scenes in the book when they're talking about, like storms off in the distance and his hair was sticking up even crazier and all that. And then,
that's right.
Anytime there's any altercation with Zigzag, it all kind of comes into play. It's very well done.
It's awesome, for sure. So, Zigzag rats out Stanley and Zero to the warden about the whole digging deal and whatnot. And Zero, after being just tormented by Mom for a minute, Tim Blake Nelson just, hauls off and cranks him in the face with a shovel, which is excellent. And then takes off into the desert. Now, Stanley's got to go after him. And I remember Stanley stealing the water truck, but totally forgot that he crashed into a hole immediately. Mm-hmm. Like, I knew he crashed it, but I forgot it was just like 10 feet and then bam, right in a hole.
Yeah.
Again, done so well on camera.
Yeah.
Just so well. The water splashing all over him through, after the crash.
And it's a bad crash. That's a deep hole, 5 feet deep, 5 feet wide.
So that was great. Absolutely love that. Then, of course, he has to take off now and go find Zero, Hector, whatever you want to do. I switch now? I don't know. Probably going to go to both at this point. So that's where we are with that. So they've reunited at the Mary Lou at this point after a little bit, and are getting into the sploosh.
Yes, and the Mary Lou is the boat.
Yeah, the Mary Lou is the boat,
the actual boat from Sam the Onion Man. That's like flipped upside down at the end of this lake.
Yeah, and it makes a nice little shelter.
Yeah, and they're hiding
that
in there.
Zero found and was drinking all the old fermented
spiced peaches.
Spiced peaches, thank you. That's what it is. And since I read the book, tried some spiced peaches, not really my thing. Didn't really dig the spiced peaches.
I was bummed that it wasn't like, oh my gosh, this is amazing.
I think give me peaches just. I'm good.
That's fine.
Yeah, it's fine. So they're reunited now at the boat and have decided to start making their way to God's Thumb because Stanley sees it off in the distance, like, oh my God, that's where my great-grandfather had to take refuge after being robbed by Kissing Kate Barlow, of course. Everything ties into each other, right?
Yes. That's what the best thing about this book / movie is everything ties together.
So, they got the sploosh. They get up to the top of God's Thumb. They do this a lot quicker in the movie, I think, than they did in the book, but that's fine. They find the water, start eating the onions. Stanley, in his elation, sings the stupid song that, is his family's song and all of that. After, of course, carrying Hector Zeroni up the damn mountain.
Because he was weak and all of that.
So next thing you see is back to the Fonz in the kitchen. Peaches and onions is key. Is the key. Whatever. Yep. There you go. So, then all of it starts to really come together. The story of the shoes comes out now. They're on top of the mountain. Zero's recovered a little bit from his fatigue and all of that stuff.
Yeah.
And tells Stanley, hey, listen, I'm the one who stole his shoes. I'm why you're here.
Yeah.
But it's just like, oh my God, we were supposed to be here and all that stuff. The whole fate of the whole thing comes out, right? Mm-hmm. Then, of course, they got to make their way back to the holes. They're not just going to stay up on the mountain. Although I don't think I would go back.
So, the big reason why they go back, right?
I don't remember, no.
Okay. So, when they found Kissin' Kate Barlow's lipstick tube, it clicked in because, they gave the gold lipstick tube to X-Ray so he could get the day off.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden the warden goes crazy and they're digging this giant hole around the wrong area. So they knew there was
supposed to be something else there.
Yeah, they knew that something else is buried.
Yeah, okay.
And that's why they have to go back. But Stanley knows where the correct hole is.
Right, so
that's why they have to go back.
They go back to his hole because he knows he knows exactly where it is. He's got the stone in the film anyway. He's got the stone marker, so he knows exactly which one it is.
Yeah.
And all that. So they head back and they head back to the holes to start finding the treasure. Of course, then we have the awesome standoff with the lizards come out and then everybody finds them at the same time. So it's just, great. And then this really cool lizard versus human versus child versus adult standoff situation, which they do a good job making it real tense, and then also making it like, what the hell are you gonna do? Come get me.
Yeah.
These things.
There's a bunch of deadly lizards on me.
Yeah. And
go ahead.
At that point, I think we get the like a quick flashback or something with the onions, or is that the book? Where they flash back to, how the onions stave off the lizards and all that stuff.
I believe that's in the book instead of the movie, but yes.
The standoff is awesome. And then, of course, day is breaking, and Stanley's salvation comes in the form of his lawyer because his father has found the invention and all of that. And sends the lawyer to go get him because they all found out that he's innocent and all this stuff kind of at the same time.
Yes.
And I wrote great payoff scenes with everything wrapping up nicely.
Yeah.
Because that's literally the last, good 20 minutes of the movie is just awesomeness, which is great. Kids movies, so you're going to get that, which is fun.
But you get,
I think from now on, if I do any movies, they got to be kids movies because I love a good wrap up.
Okay.
I really
and you
do.
get like 18 small wrap-ups in this movie.
It's just payoff after payoff.
Exactly.
A
bunch of dopamine for you.
The giant treasure and all the stuff in there. And then, Stanley gets Hector out of there. But before that, all the adults get theirs. The stupid warden gets busted. And then Marion and all. Mr. Sir's real name is Marion. So the kids get to laugh at him and stuff.
And he had a warrant out for his arrest. So he's gone.
Then they all start flipping on each other right there. And just all of that is great. And then the lawyer's just like, Stanley, get in the car, which is wonderful. Get him the hell out of there. He brings Hector with him. They go home. They have that whole thing. And then you got the Fonz counting out the bonds. We're going to give half of this to Hector. That's a little much. I'm just saying. That's a little much. You could give him a third, I think. Be fine.
I mean, he's got his invention, so they're going to be set no matter what. Yeah. I think you could give him half. It's fine.
It's just my ridiculous mind. That's where I go. Like in Billy Madison, he gives the company to Carl. That's what he says at the end. And that just drives me nuts because did he just give him a whole company or is he letting him run the company? Anyway, I think Hector would have been fine with just a third.
Yeah, I'm sure he would. But they could handle that. They're rich now.
But it's again, excellent payoff. Really, really well done. And it was almost shot for shot for the book. And what wasn't was done maybe better. A couple of things get left out. Of course they do.
Right.
But, something like this might as well be a comic book brought to the screen, which is just great. I hope other people like it because it's a really good adaptation.
All right, is that it?
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
And then you need the questions.
I need the questions,
right, so this
yes.
will be a quick, awkward, clunky handoff because I got to find the questions. There they are.
That's okay. We make this work again. I wish I just remembered the questions, but I'm always answering, so I don't actually really.
I'm very excited.
Think about it
because I like getting quizzed every now and then.
All right, perfect. All right, we're not going to do the title of the movie in the movie. Because
they say it a lot.
And it doesn't hold any.
On the other side of the question now, I get it, right? That's not a very weightful way that they say holes, ever.
Exactly.
Not once.
Okay. Did you like the movie?
Yes, of course.
Okay.
Really good.
What did you know about it going into the movie?
Well, again, I read the book, so, I knew the premise and most of the stuff. I knew Shia LaBeouf was in it, and Sigourney Weaver was the warden. But that was pretty much it.
Okay. So I know you kind of already answered this, and this is not one of the questions that you have. But compared to the book, movie or book, which one did you like better?
Oh, that's tough. Probably the book, just because, book.
Okay.
And you can fit so much more into a book and all of that, explain a lot of things, and it doesn't seem like it's taking up time. Mm-hmm. Whereas, those things in a movie would just make the movie longer and probably a little boring in spots.
Right.
Probably the book. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but the movie, it's a great adaptation, and kids book to kids movie is probably easier to do anyway.
Yeah.
Than something like, I don't know.
Something else?
Something hard.
Yes. What were your thoughts going into the movie?
I thought I was going to like it. And I knew Shia LaBeouf was in it, and I knew this is pre-Shia going insane, so I figured I would dig that and, him in it. And again, I liked the book, so I knew going in that it should be fun and an easy watch and all that stuff.
So what surprised you?
Jon Voight.
Okay. So you didn't know he was in it.
Tim Blake Nelson, the Fonz, also. They surprised me, but yeah, Jon Voight, definitely. Did not see that coming at all. That was a wonderful surprise. Again,
okay.
Jerk Jon Voight with a touch of cartoon. That was special.
What was your favorite part of the movie?
Great. I don't know. Is it different than the favorite part of the book?
Yeah, because you're going by the movie right now.
Honestly, in the movie, it might just be Zero cranking Mom in the face with the shovel.
It was a good scene and a nice sound effect.
Yeah,
That shovel
all of
smacking
it.
him right in the face.
And I mean, because, you know,
Bam.
they're calling him stupid and stuff like that. And it's just like, all right, that's a lot.
Yeah.
And then, you know, he cranks him in the teeth with the shovel. Is just really good. That might be up there just because I really didn't think about it, which I should have thought about the questions first, right? But no, I didn't think about it. So, yeah, probably that off the top of my head. That or, you know, when he's carrying him up the mountain, they find the Indians, they find the stream, that whole payoff.
Yeah. Okay. What about your least favorite part?
They killed Mary Lou, man.
Okay.
Yeah,
That and the lizards.
they didn't have to kill the mule. Well, I mean, that's
The bad
just
CGI.
I mean, you know, whatever.
Okay. Yeah. Mary Lou dying is sad. It's sad in the book too.
Yes, well, you know, that whole scene is rough.
They did a good job making it a kids movie and not. I feel like the book is.
A little rougher.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it is. You know, he gets again more detail, right?
Yeah.
In this, they get through it fast.
Yeah.
So it's like, hey, this is bad and it sucked.
It's gonna happen,
yeah.
but here we go.
Now we're back in the real time or whatever.
Would you recommend this to someone who hasn't seen it?
Yeah, for sure. If you're listening to this and you listened all the way through and you've never seen or read Holes, what the hell? Thank you.
right.
First of all, that's great. But yeah, watch it. It's fun.
It is.
If there's any kind of kids around in your life and you're trying to come up with something to kill a couple hours, put this on. If you're just bored, check it out. If you had Disney Plus, it's free. So there's that.
Do you think you would like it more or less if you
More.
saw it when you were younger?
Way more.
Okay.
Yeah, I wish I did. But I was easily a late teenager when this came out.
Yeah.
And when the movie came out anyway. I don't know with the book. But if I had seen this when I was like 12, you kidding me? It'd probably be one of my favorite movies.
Okay.
It's really good.
Would you watch it again?
Hell yeah.
Would you stop and watch it on TV?
Yeah, for sure.
Are you happy you watched it?
Definitely.
I'm not doing the cringe level because there is no cringe level in this movie. I mean, come on.
No, not really. Some of the fat kid stuff maybe they wouldn't do nowadays, but
But it's not that old of
Yeah.
a movie.
no, it's not. And
No.
it still is about 20 years.
Don't say that.
I know.
Don't say
I
that.
know. Hey, I got to live through this.
It's
You do
not
too.
that old. Ooh.
Pretty sure it is.
Oh my gosh.
So,
All right.
yeah.
Well, thank you, Luke, for sitting down and watching Holes.
All right.
And
was
thank
fun.
you for reviewing that movie.
Thank you, everybody, for sitting through my clunky, weird, chunky review. You really do have this down to kind of a science at this point. You make it
Well,
much
I've
smoother,
done,
so-
like 85 of them,
That's
and
a
this is
lot.
what, your third
I
one?
believe it's my third. 'Cause
Yeah.
I did Speed, It's a Wonderful Life,
And now
then,
Holes.
And then Holes.
Yes. So, practice makes perfect, sir.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. All right. What's next?
It's time for Thought of the Day.
God, now I got to sing too?
Yes.
Jeez. Thought of the day. Thought of the day. It's a thought of the day. Thought of the day.
I was trying to dance and, pump you up on that,
We
but
had a
it
big
just didn't
dinner
work.
before this, so the
Yeah.
diaphragm is just crushed right now. Sorry.
That's all right.
Sorry, gang.
Well, because of a silly joke, everyone now knows what the powerhouse of a cell is.
Oh my God, right?
What is it?
Mitochondria.
That's right.
Of course.
Beautiful.
And it is because of the joke. I didn't remember
yes.
that from Earth Science. Are you kidding me?
Yeah. Luke, you gonna leave us with a laugh?
I'm going to do my best putting the book on hold because I found this stack of dad joke cards.
Okay.
And we're going to read a couple of these.
Okay.
You ready?
Think so.
Where are average things made?
Squaresville.
In the Satisfactory.
That's stupid.
I like that one. It's not stupid. It's great.
No, it's stupid.
That's a good one. Let's see what else we got. One or two more. What does a house wear?
I don't know.
A dress.
I can't.
I told my wife she drew her eyebrows on too high. She seemed surprised.
Stop it.
Shout out to all our friends in New Mexico.
Oh my gosh.
Yesterday, a clown held the door open for me. I thought it was a nice gesture.
So stupid.
All right. That's going to do it for
Thank
episode 111. Thank God. I know it. Thanks for sticking with us through this one, through 111 episodes, through however many episodes you've stuck with us through. We appreciate you. Don't forget, drop your comments wherever you can drop your comments. We want to know what word in a movie title you would replace with the word undies.
Yes.
Just for fun. You can keep all the comments coming on the other stuff too. That is always welcome. We got the Two Truths and a Lie video coming up
Wednesday.
So make sure you're paying attention. Don't forget to subscribe, like, share.
All that good stuff.
All of the things.
Yes.
All right. Until episode 112, have some fun this week and be excellent to each other.
Love you. Bye.